Think you've heard it all about Hollywood's most famous couples? Think again. Behind the flashing cameras and red carpet glamour, some of the biggest stars in the world tied the knot in total secrecy. No paparazzi, no press, and not even a whisper to their biggest fans. These weren't just quiet weddings. They were full-blown love stories hidden in plain sight. From spur-of-the-moment vows to ultra-private ceremonies kept under wraps for years, these secret celebrity marriages unfolded right under our noses, and most of us had no clue. But before we reveal the list, here's a little trivia for you. Which Hollywood heartthrob secretly married his co-star in the 90s and managed to keep it out of the headlines? Was it Matthew Broderick, Ethan Hawke, Johnny Depp, or David Arquette? Smash that like button if you think you know the answer, and drop your guess in the comments. Don't worry if you're stumped, because what you're about to discover will leave you absolutely speechless. Let's dive into the most jaw-dropping hidden marriages in Hollywood history. Brody and Leighton Mester are the rare kind of Hollywood couple who've turned fame into background noise, choosing love, privacy, and family over red carpets and tabloid headlines. Their story quietly began in 2011 on the set of The Oranges, where two TV icons crossed paths. Brody, still beloved as the witty and lovable Seth Cohen from The OC, and Mester, unforgettable as the stylish and scheming Blair Waldorf on Gossip Girl. Despite their star power, their connections sparked far from the spotlight. By early 2013, they were dating, keeping things under the radar, away from paparazzi lenses. Just months later, they were engaged, and in February 2014, they tied the knot in a private, low-key ceremony that perfectly reflected their values. Later that year, they shared the screen in Life Partners, charming audiences with their effortless chemistry and quiet authenticity. In 2015, they welcomed their daughter, Arlo Day, and their family grew once again in 2020 with the birth of their second child. Known for being hands-on, grounded parents, Brody and Mester are often seen enjoying simple family moments around Los Angeles. No flashbulbs, no fanfare. Just two stars who found their true spotlight at home. Alexis Bledel and Vincent Cartheiser first crossed paths on the set of Mad Men in 2012. Bledel played Beth Dawes, the emotionally vulnerable mistress of Cartheiser's character, Pete Campbell, in a 3-episode arc that sizzled with tension. But it wasn't just great acting. Behind the scenes, there was a real spark. Despite the growing connection, the two kept their budding romance strictly private, choosing to shield it from Hollywood's ever-watchful eye. In 2014, fans were blindsided when the pair quietly announced their engagement. True to their low-key nature, they tied the knot in an intimate, secret ceremony in California that same year, far from the glitz and headlines. Even after saying, "I do," they lived largely out of the spotlight, choosing quiet over red carpets. That privacy extended to their family life. When they welcomed their first child in late 2015, the world didn't even know, until Mad Men co-star Scott Patterson accidentally let it slip in a 2016 interview. Then, in August 2022, the couple shocked fans once more, this time with the quiet confirmation of their separation after 8 years of marriage. In classic Bledel Cartheiser fashion, the split was handled with dignity and silence, offering no public drama, just a mutual parting of ways behind closed doors. Tamblin and David Cross aren't your typical Hollywood couple, and that's exactly what makes their love story so compelling. With nearly a 20-year age gap between them, many doubted they'd last. But more than a decade later, they've proven the skeptics wrong with a relationship built on wit, respect, and deep admiration. Their story began in 2007 at a comedy event where fate, and a few mutual friends, brought them together. At first, Cross was hesitant, aware of their age difference. But Tamblin's sharp mind and quick humor quickly disarmed him. What started as a casual meeting soon turned into a whirlwind romance. By 2011, during a memorable trip, Cross proposed and Tamblin joyfully said yes. In 2012, they tied the knot in a whimsical outdoor ceremony that broke all the Hollywood wedding rules, true to their creative and unconventional natures. Then in 2017, they welcomed their daughter, Marlo Alice, choosing to raise her far from the blinding glare of the public eye. Privacy, for them, is sacred. Cross, known for his quirky role as Tobias Funk on Arrested Development, brings a bold, offbeat energy that perfectly complements Tamblin's more grounded and dramatic presence, like her acclaimed performance in Joan of Arcadia. And while their age gap has sparked some public curiosity, and even criticism, the couple meets it with humor and honesty. For them, it's not about age, it's about connection, creativity, and a love that continues to grow on its own terms. Christy Brinkley and Billy Joel, a glamorous love story that defined the 80s. In the golden glow of the 1980s, few celebrity romances captured the public's imagination quite like the whirlwind love story between supermodel Christy Brinkley and rock legend Billy Joel. Their fairy tale began in 1983 on the sun-soaked shores of St. Bart's. Billy, playing at a cozy piano bar, looked up to find Christy walking in, radiant, confident, unforgettable. It was a moment straight out of a movie. Fate wasn't finished. Back in New York City, the two crossed paths again, this time forming a friendship that slowly blossomed into something deeper. Just 2 years later, on March 23, 1985, they tied the knot in a glamorous yacht ceremony, with the Statue of Liberty herself standing witness in the background, a symbol of freedom, hope, and now love. By then, Billy Joel was already a household name, known for iconic hits like Piano Man and Uptown Girl, the latter written as a tribute to Christy's beauty and charm. Their romance spilled into pop culture when Christy starred in the song's unforgettable music video, playing the sophisticated dream girl who wins the heart of a working-class guy. It was more than a performance, it was a reflection of their real-life magic. Later that year, the couple welcomed their daughter, Alexa Ray Joel, named in honor of Billy's musical idol, Ray Charles. But like many high-profile relationships, theirs was not without strain. The demands of fame, career, and raising a child under the spotlight eventually took their toll. After nearly a decade together, they made the difficult decision to part ways, finalizing their divorce in 1994. Yet unlike many Hollywood breakups, theirs never turned bitter. Even after the romance ended, a deep mutual respect endured. To this day, both Christy and Billy speak of each other with warmth and gratitude, proof that while some love stories may not last forever, they still leave behind a beautiful melody. Christina Hendris and Aaron Jeffries' love story began in 2007, sparked by a chance introduction through mutual friends. At the time, Christina was skyrocketing to fame with her standout role in the hit series Mad Men, while Aaron had already carved out a niche with his quirky charm in films like 500 Days of Summer. From their very first meeting, there was an undeniable connection. Christina would later reveal she felt a deep sense of certainty about him from the start. 2 years later, on October 11, 2009, they tied the knot in an intimate ceremony in New York City. Christina, known for her timeless beauty and vintage-inspired style, stunned in a breathtaking Carolina Herrera gown as the couple exchanged heartfelt vows surrounded by close friends and family. Throughout their decade-long marriage, the two were each other's biggest cheerleaders. Christina often praised Aaron's sharp wit and gentle heart, while he openly admired her unwavering passion, immense talent, and grounded spirit. But even the strongest bonds can shift with time. In October 2019, after 10 years together, they announced their separation with grace and mutual respect. In a joint statement, they expressed love and gratitude for the years they shared and emphasized their commitment to maintaining a close friendship. Though their romantic journey came to an end, the respect they held for one another never faded. Christine Taylor and Ben Stiller's love story is pure Hollywood magic, complete with laughter, heartbreak, and a second chance at forever. They met in the late 90s while filming a TV pilot that never saw the light of day, but something far more meaningful came from it, an instant connection rooted in humor and chemistry. Their whirlwind romance led to a dreamy Hawaiian wedding in May 2000, where they vowed to walk life's red carpet together. Over the years, the couple became beloved not just for their individual talents, but for the electric charm they brought to the screen as a duo. From Zoolander, 2001, to Dodgeball, 2004, and Tropic Thunder, 2008, fans adored their dynamic, Christine often playing the calm, collected counterbalance to Ben's off-the-wall antics. Behind the scenes, they built a beautiful life together, raising 2 children, Ella Olivia and Quinlan Dempsey, while navigating the chaos of fame and family life with grace. But even the strongest love stories hit rough patches. In 2017, after 17 years of marriage, they shocked fans by announcing a separation, citing personal differences. It seemed like the end of an era. But then came an unexpected twist worthy of a movie script. During the COVID-19 lockdown, Stiller moved back in to be closer to their kids. What started as a co-parenting arrangement slowly rekindled something deeper. The spark returned. Since reuniting, Christine and Ben have proven that love, when real, doesn't just fade, it evolves. Their journey is a reminder that even in Hollywood, sometimes the best stories are the ones with a second act. Elizabeth Moss and Fred Armison's whirlwind romance began in the unlikeliest of places, backstage at Saturday Night Live in 2008. Moss had come to support her Mad Men co-star Jon Hamm, who was hosting that night, while Armison was a mainstay in the SNL cast. Sparks flew instantly. Just 3 months after their first meeting, the two were engaged, and by October 2009, they had tied the knot. It all seemed like a fairy tale, until it wasn't. What started as a fast-burning romance quickly unraveled. Less than a year into their marriage, cracks began to show. Moss would later describe the relationship as traumatic and awful, hinting at emotional turmoil behind closed doors. By 2010, the couple had filed for divorce, closing the chapter on a brief but deeply painful union. Armison, known for his offbeat comedy on SNL and Portlandia, later owned up to his faults. In a candid interview with Howard Stern, he admitted he was a bad husband, emotionally unavailable and unable to commit. "I was a terrible boyfriend too," he confessed, acknowledging the harm he'd caused. As for Moss, the Emmy-winning star of The Handmaid's Tale and Mad Men, she's rarely spoken about the marriage, but when she has, it's clear the experience left lasting scars. For her, healing and moving forward became a necessity, not just a choice. Though their relationship ended in heartbreak, both Moss and Armison have continued to shine in their careers, proof that even from the wreckage of a failed marriage, growth and success can still emerge. Felicity Huffman and William H. Macy are more than just Hollywood veterans. They're a rare example of lasting love in an industry where relationships often fizzle fast. Their journey began in the early 1980s, sparked by a connection in New York's buzzing theater scene. But their path to forever wasn't smooth. Macy famously proposed several times before Huffman finally said yes, later admitting her fear of commitment held her back. It wasn't until September 6, 1997, that they finally tied the knot, sealing a bond that had already weathered years of ups and downs. Both stars have left a powerful mark on television. Huffman rose to fame as the fierce yet vulnerable Lynette Scavo on Desperate Housewives, while Macy earned acclaim and fans for his raw, unforgettable role as Frank Gallagher on Shameless. But beyond their professional triumphs, it's their unwavering partnership that truly stands out. In 2019, their marriage was put under a harsh spotlight when Huffman became embroiled in the infamous college admissions scandal. She was accused of paying $15,000 to boost her daughter's SAT scores and later pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit mail fraud. The fallout was intense. Huffman served 11 days in federal prison and completed her community service, but through it all, Macy never wavered. He stood by her side with quiet strength and fierce loyalty. After her release, Huffman offered a deeply emotional public apology, taking full responsibility for her actions. Instead of running from the scandal, the couple chose to face it together, head-on. With honesty, humility, and a shared commitment to healing, they've worked to rebuild both their public image and private trust, proving once again that true love isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Hilary Burton's love story isn't your typical Hollywood whirlwind. It's a slow-burning romance rooted in real connection. Their journey began in 2009, thanks to an introduction by mutual friends Jensen and Daniil Ackles, another beloved Tinseltown couple. From the moment they met, sparks flew. But instead of racing toward the spotlight, they chose something far more rare in the entertainment world: authenticity. The couple started dating soon after their first meeting, quietly nurturing a relationship away from the chaos of Hollywood. Unlike many celebrity romances that crash and burn, theirs blossomed over time. After more than a decade together, they finally said, "I do," in an intimate ceremony in October 2019, held not in some glitzy venue, but on their peaceful farm in upstate New York. That farm isn't just a backdrop, it's a lifestyle. Far from the red carpets and paparazzi, Morgan and Burton have embraced rural living. Their social media is filled with snapshots of muddy boots, homegrown produce, and sweet moments with their two kids, son Augustus, born in 2010, and daughter George, born in 2018. Together, they raise animals, tend the land, and give their children the kind of grounded upbringing most Hollywood kids never know. Though they mostly keep work and home life separate, fans were thrilled when they appeared together in a 2019 episode of The Walking Dead, playing a married couple, an art imitates life moment that gave fans a rare glimpse of their real-life chemistry on screen. In an industry built on illusion, Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Hilary Burton are the real deal, proof that love, when nurtured with patience and purpose, can thrive even under the harshest lights. Jennifer Grey and Clark Gregg's love story began with a spark of mutual admiration and a shared passion for storytelling. When they crossed paths in the early 2000s, the connection was instant. Just a year later, on July 21, 2001, they sealed that connection with a heartfelt wedding, simple, sincere, and reflective of the grounded values they held, even under Hollywood's bright lights. Grey, forever iconic as Baby in Dirty Dancing, 1987, and Gregg, beloved as Agent Phil Coulson in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, kept their romance mostly out of the public eye. Their marriage was built on laughter, unwavering support, and a deep devotion to family life. The birth of their daughter, Stella, in 2001 only deepened that bond. Through career highs and personal challenges, they stood by each other, cheering on successes, weathering the storms, and always putting Stella first. But in July 2020, after nearly 20 years together, the couple made the difficult decision to part ways. Their divorce was finalized later that year, but it wasn't a story of bitterness. In a heartfelt joint statement, they spoke of enduring love and respect, describing their separation as mutual and peaceful. More importantly, they reaffirmed their commitment to raising Stella with compassion, care, and unity, proving that while their romantic journey may have ended, their bond as a family remains unbreakable. From the moment they met, Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa seemed fated to be together. Long before their paths crossed, Momoa had already fallen for Bonet. As a young boy watching her on The Cosby Show, he told everyone she was the one. Despite a 12-year age difference, destiny intervened in 2005 when mutual friends introduced them at a jazz club. According to Momoa, it was love at first sight. The connection was instant, and their romance blossomed quickly. They chose a life far from Hollywood's flashing cameras, raising their family in peace and privacy. In 2007, they welcomed their daughter, Lola Iolani, and a year later, their son, Taolf. Though rumors about their marital status lingered for years, the couple quietly tied the knot in October 2017 in an intimate, low-key ceremony. Momoa, best known for his roles in Game of Thrones and Aquaman, often called Bonet his dream woman, his queen. Bonet, the beloved star of The Cosby Show and A Different World, embraced motherhood and remained a fiercely creative spirit, supporting Momoa's rise to stardom while staying true to her own artistic path. Together, they became one of Hollywood's most admired couples, celebrated for their authenticity and refusal to conform to industry norms. But in January 2022, after 16 years together, the couple announced their separation, sending shockwaves through fans who had believed in their fairy tale love. Even in parting, they showed grace and unity, affirming their continued love and commitment to co-parenting their children with mutual respect and deep care. Lisa Marie Presley and Nicolas Cage's marriage was as wild as it was unexpected, a whirlwind of passion, chaos, and clashing personalities. Their unlikely romance sparked in 2000 at a glitzy Hollywood party, where sparks flew despite their vastly different backgrounds. Presley, the only daughter of the king of rock and roll, carried the weight and mystique of the Presley legacy. Cage, a Hollywood rebel with a taste for the eccentric, was instantly captivated by her fierce independence and iconic lineage. Their connection was instant and intense. Cage, a lifelong Elvis fan, once called Lisa Marie the real deal, while she found his unpredictable energy magnetic. Within 2 tumultuous years, filled with breakups and makeups, they shocked the world by tying the knot in a quiet Hawaiian ceremony on August 10, 2002. But the honeymoon didn't last. Just 108 days later, Cage filed for divorce, making headlines as one of Hollywood's shortest and most volatile marriages. He later admitted that their fiery tempers and emotional highs and lows created a storm neither of them could weather. Presley echoed that sentiment, saying their chemistry was undeniable, but so was the chaos it caused. Their divorce was finalized in 2004. Still, despite the brief, fiery nature of their union, both looked back without bitterness. They spoke of each other with surprising respect, acknowledging that while their love burned fast and bright, it left behind a story neither would ever forget. Long before the days of social media drama and tabloid overload, Paula Abdul and Emilio Estevez shared a love story that felt straight out of a Hollywood script. It all began in the early 90s, when Estevez was captivated by Abdul's magnetic charm and undeniable talent. He reached out the old-fashioned way, with a phone call, and that spark quickly ignited into a full-blown romance. By 1991, they were officially a couple, and just a year later, they sealed their whirlwind love with a wedding in April 1992. The ceremony was intimate, held in California, surrounded by close family and friends. At the time, Paula Abdul was at the top of her game with chart-topping hits like Straight Up and Opposites Attract, while Estevez had already made his mark in Hollywood as both an actor and a filmmaker. Together, they seemed unstoppable. But behind the scenes, cracks began to show. The biggest challenge? Their hopes for the future didn't align. Abdul longed to start a family, to become a mother. But Estevez, already a father of 2 from a previous relationship, didn't share that dream. That emotional divide proved too deep to bridge. And by 1994, just 2 years after exchanging vows, they made the heartbreaking decision to part ways. In later interviews, Paula spoke candidly about the pain of the split. She admitted the love was real, but their dreams pulled them in opposite directions. Both held deep respect for what they shared, but sometimes, even the strongest love can't survive when life takes you down different roads. Peter Sarsgaard and Maggie Gyllenhaal's love story began quietly but powerfully in the early 2000s, right as Maggie was earning widespread acclaim for her bold performance in Secretary, 2002. Introduced through their shared connections in the film world, the two quickly formed a deep and lasting bond. After 4 years of dating, they got engaged in 2006 and sealed their love with a private, intimate wedding in Italy in 2009, surrounded by close friends and family. From the beginning, Sarsgaard and Gyllenhaal made a deliberate choice to keep their private life separate from the spotlight. Despite both being deeply involved in Hollywood, and even collaborating occasionally with Maggie's brother, Jake Gyllenhaal, they've rarely appeared on screen together. One rare exception was the 2007 short film High Falls, which offered a subtle but intimate glimpse into their real-life chemistry. The couple are devoted parents to 2 daughters, Ramona, born in 2006, and Gloria Ray, born in 2012. Determined to give their children a grounded upbringing, they've carefully shielded them from media glare, often speaking about their parenting philosophy centered on stability and normalcy, no easy feat in the entertainment industry. Eschewing the glitz of Hollywood, they've chosen to build a quiet life in Brooklyn, embracing a down-to-earth lifestyle far from the flashbulbs. While both have earned critical praise, Maggie as an Oscar-nominated actress in films like The Dark Knight and The Kindergarten Teacher, and Peter for his compelling roles in Shattered Glass and An Education, they remain refreshingly private. Their love endures not through headlines, but through quiet moments, shared values, and a strong family foundation. Rachel Weisz and Daniel Craig's love story is one of Hollywood's most quietly stunning surprises, a romance that blossomed not in the glare of paparazzi flashes, but in the shadows of privacy and deep connection. Though their paths first crossed in the early 90s as up-and-coming talents in the British film scene, sparks didn't fly until nearly 2 decades later, when they reunited on the set of the 2011 psychological thriller Dream House. Rumors swirled by the end of 2010 that the chemistry on screen had spilled into real life, and just months later, the world was stunned when the famously private pair married in an ultra-secret ceremony in New York. Only 4 guests witnessed the vows, Craig's daughter and Wise's son among them. Even after becoming husband and wife, the couple stayed true to their low-key nature, rarely walking red carpets together or speaking publicly about their relationship. Wise, an Oscar winner for The Constant Gardener and praised for The Favorite, and Craig, internationally iconic as James Bond, have built a life rooted in discretion and devotion rather than fame. Splitting their time between the UK and the US, they've made privacy a cornerstone of their bond. In 2018, they welcomed their first child together, a daughter, further anchoring their love in the quiet comfort of family far from Hollywood's spotlight. In a town known for fleeting romances and high-profile breakups, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. are a rare and refreshing Hollywood love story that's truly stood the test of time. Their journey began back in 1997 on the set of the teen thriller I Know What You Did Last Summer. What started as a simple friendship quietly blossomed into something deeper. It wasn't until 2000, thanks to a canceled dinner plan with a mutual friend, that sparks finally flew. One unexpected meal turned into the start of a lifelong connection. By 2001, they were engaged, and just a year later, on September 1, 2002, the couple tied the knot in a stunning beachside ceremony in Mexico. Since then, they've built one of the most stable and admired relationships in the entertainment world. In 2009, they welcomed their daughter, Charlotte Grace, followed by their son, Rocky James, in 2012. Despite their fame, Gellar and Prinze Jr. have remained fiercely protective of their family's privacy, choosing to keep their home life grounded and out of the spotlight. Over the years, they've worked side by side, even voicing the iconic duo Daphne and Fred in the Scooby-Doo animated series, proof that their real-life chemistry translates to the screen. Freddie, once the heartthrob of hits like She's All That and Summer Catch, gradually stepped back from acting to focus on fatherhood. Meanwhile, Sarah, forever remembered as the fierce Buffy Summers, has ventured into producing and even carved out a new path in the culinary business. When asked about the secret to their lasting love, both credit the foundation of friendship, open communication, mutual respect, and a shared sense of humor. In a world where love stories often fade fast, theirs continues to inspire, proof that sometimes real love not only survives Hollywood, it thrives. Troian Bellisario and Patrick J. Adams have a love story straight out of a Hollywood script, full of twists, second chances, and real-life magic. Their journey began in 2009, backstage during a theater production of Equivocation. The spark was undeniable, but the timing wasn't right. Troian ended things early on, unsure of where it would all lead. But Patrick wasn't ready to walk away. Determined to stay close, he took a small role on Pretty Little Liars, the very show that made Troian a household name. That quiet act of love and persistence brought them back together, and this time, it stuck. After years of growing stronger as a couple, they tied the knot in 2016 in a breathtaking outdoor ceremony in California. Set against a backdrop of nature and styled with a rustic boho vibe, their wedding felt more like an intimate celebration of authenticity than a star-studded spectacle. It wasn't just about saying, "I do." It was about honoring the resilience and evolution of their love. Despite the pressures of Hollywood life, they've built a relationship grounded in mutual respect, creativity, and shared values. Whether it's traveling the world or collaborating on screen, like when Troian guest starred on Suits, where Patrick played fan favorite Mike Ross, they support each other's artistic paths. In 2018, their love story expanded with the birth of their daughter, Aurora. But fame hasn't changed their priorities. They fiercely protect their family's privacy, offering only rare, heartfelt glimpses into their life together. For Troian and Patrick, balance is everything. Between work and family, ambition and stillness, spotlight and sanctuary. Thanks for watching. If you love this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There's always more heartwarming Hollywood love to discover, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.